What if I told you a soda company got so deep into Cold War trade that it ended up tangled with Soviet ships? Because yes, Pepsi was not content with selling cola. At one point, this story drifted so far into geopolitical nonsense that it started sounding less like business and more like a drunk naval briefing. The story really begins in Moscow in 1959, when Pepsi executive Donald Kendall helped serve Pepsi to Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev at the American National Exhibition, while US Vice President Richard Nixon stood nearby. So yes, one of the strangest business relationships of the Cold War began with a paper cup of soda in the middle of a propaganda showcase. Years later, Pepsi pulled off something huge. In 1972, it struck a barter deal with the Soviet government. Since rubles were not freely convertible, Pepsi traded concentrate and got rights tied to Stolichnaya vodka. By 1974, Pepsi became the first Western consumer product made and sold inside the Soviet Union. Cold War ideology had officially made room for cola. Then the Soviet economy got worse, and barter got weirder. By 1990, a massive expanded deal involved not just more vodka rights, but Soviet-built ships as part of the arrangement. This is the point where normal business people usually stop and ask a question like, why are we suddenly discussing vessels? And this is where the legend takes over. The internet loves saying Pepsi briefly became the owner of a Soviet navy. The truth is less cinematic but somehow funnier. Pepsi was connected to deals involving obsolete submarines and warships that were not about to patrol the oceans for soft drinks. They were headed toward scrap, not conquest. So no, Pepsi did not become some cola-powered superpower. It did not suddenly turn into an admiralty. But the fact that a soft drink company got pulled into Soviet barter on this scale says everything about late Cold War economics. One side wanted profit, the other needed trade, and somehow that road ran through submarines. So what is the real lesson here? The Cold War was not only missiles, spies, and summits. Sometimes it was also a cola company doing business with a superpower until the story wandered into shipyards and naval scrap. Was this the most ridiculous corporate deal of the Cold War? Subscribe for next episode.